Hello everyone, I'm Laura Haverkamp. I'm here today to share with you a content literacy strategy called Organizational Walkthrough. But I have a little extra, couple added twists today. We're doing Organizational Walkthrough, not in a normal way through a textbook, but through a non-traditional text that is a library. And I've added in a breakout box just for some extra fun. As a librarian, I do teach content, but my content is more of a skill set than actual factual knowledge. So in teaching content literacy, I do have to teach a library orientation. Mine has gotten dull. So to switch it up, I've decided to start using some literacy strategies to improve my introduction and hope that students better retain their library skills. I will be using an organizational walkthrough, and I've tied it to a breakout box to improve student motivation. Just to jog your memory, what is an organizational walkthrough? It means introducing students to your content area text, walking them through how your text functions. Organizational walkthrough is a strategy introduced in the text, Teaching Through Text, Reading and Writing in Content Areas by McKenna and Robinson. So what is an organizational walkthrough? It means the teacher or professor walks through a selection, either a text or a textbook, noting the organizational structure. Books or articles can be organized in a time order, a compare-contrast, a cause and effect, a problem-solution ordering, in a simple list, or in a systematic listing, or can combine one or more of these organizational structures. But if you point it out to the students, the organizational structure in the text will be more comprehensible. They'll be better able to understand what is happening in the textbook and then absorb that knowledge. In a classroom, any text has an organizational scheme that can be pointed out. So if we were going to teach about space in our science class, we would introduce the front cover, then we would probably take a look at the table of contents, and then a closer look at this table of contents reveals that this book has a simple listing of topics. Very simply said, if you wanted to learn about comets, you would not go to page 44, you'd go to page 42. If you're teaching your class how to walk through your textbook, make sure you choose the right textbook. Use the one that you will actually be using in class. So you do not want to preview British literature in your American literature class because the table of contents are different. You can walk through how the text works. In our space book, it's a simple listing of topics. Walk through with the British literature text shows you that it's arranged chronologically, has headings and subheadings, and even has a reference section to help you. Every text has different sections, headings, bolds, word selections that help guide the user. And though our American literature book is similar to the British literature book, it's not quite as detailed. The structure varies by each text. So you have to teach your students how to navigate each text, and it's easy to teach. Now I want to tell you a little bit about my library orientation in the past couple years. It has been a little bit plodding. I have not activated prior knowledge well as I have taught library orientation. Though it was arranged as a scavenger hunt, students still did not seem particularly focused or motivated. The worksheet was rather dull. It just wasn't very pretty. And the students demonstrated little retention. Though my evidence is only anecdotal, I would have students come in the next week and say, hey, where's fiction? And I would want to tear my hair out. So I recognized that I needed to improve. So how do I use organizational walkthrough in a library orientation? First, I would draw the analogy for the students that the library itself is a text. It's a human-sized text that they can walk through to find information, just like a textbook. I would give every student a map, which becomes sort of like their table of contents. They can also take notes on the backside. They would label the map as I do a brief, very brief lecture and present on library offerings and locations of resources. So they can say, oh, over here is the circulation desk. Here's where the kiosk is to get to the Destiny Library database. So I point all that out, where's fiction, where's nonfiction, all that good stuff. This becomes their guided walkthrough. In addition to doing a guided walkthrough with my students for orientation, I'm going to tie it to a breakout box. All right, some of you have probably already used a breakout box before. I just got on the wagon. I bought 2 breakout boxes for my school this past year and deployed them in history classes, but have not used them in the library. So I'm going to do library orientation breakout boxes. If you do not know what they are, a breakout box is kind of like an escape room, but I will say that our administration frowns upon locking kids in rooms without help, so a breakout box is a safer bet. It is a box that has multiple locks on it. I put 6 on mine. Students must solve a problem to find the combination to unlock the locks to get into the box. For library orientation, I do orientation with freshmen. Each class comes in and they're divided into 6 groups. Each group must unlock a lock to get into the breakout box. Each group sits at a table. They get a manila envelope. Inside the envelope or pasted to the outside of the envelope are instructions. Then the questions and an answer key or answer sheet are on the inside. And then they get to work using the organizational walkthrough that I provided before we started. Each question sheet has 3 sections, 2 questions in each section, so they have 6 questions to answer. The questions are who, what, when, what are the rules, who works at the library, where's circulation, all that good stuff. Then the next section is locating materials in the library. Where's fiction, nonfiction, biography, graphic novels, how is it organized, and noticing and using signage. I do have decent signage in my library. The kids just need to know that those are their headings in the text that is the library. And then locating online materials for the library, knowing how to log in, passwords, how to get into Discus databases, and our online catalog. In order to solve the breakout box or to break into the breakout box, students have to be able to locate the library sections. And like I said, there's signage. Each section is like a chapter heading. They answer the questions in their packet, and their answers help to unlock both the mystery of the library and the breakout box. They have to navigate the library or walk through the organization of the library to answer the questions that open the box. If you have not looked at Breakout ADU, I highly recommend it. They do have some sample lessons and a sample library orientation, but I had to modify it to fit my own library. As the students discover their answers or navigate the library, they put their answers on a key sheet. That key sheet helps them find the combinations, or that helps them to locate a key for the locks on the lockbox. One answer could possibly be the Dewey number for basketball, 796.32. Using the special breakout flashlight and invisible ink, this could be highlighted on the key sheet, and then the students would have to go get the special flashlight to see that that is the answer or a combination for one of the locks. These are just some of the sample questions. I don't really need to read them all to you, but for an idea, where's fiction? Find a book by Walter Dean Myers. Then there might be something in the Walter Dean Myers book that would help them, or it might have a key stuck in the book pocket. Find a book on space. What's the call number on the spine? What is the librarian's name? I tell you what, they can never remember my name, but it is on a sign by my office door. So all of the information is available in the quote-unquote headings around the library. Though I have not deployed this in my library, I have facilitated breakout boxes in several history classes. I can't tell you how motivated kids get to open the breakout box. They really, really get excited. So the breakout is definitely a motivational tool. The other nice thing about doing this library orientation is that it would promote movement around the library. We have tons of kinesthetic learners. We want to access that. And that organizational walkthrough helps the students to understand the headings in the text that is our library. And the students actually get up and walk through the organization of the library. They would walk around and see, oh, this is the circulation desk, and here's where biographies are. By locating the headings in the library or looking at the signage, students can discover both the way to unlock their locks and how our library is organized so that the next time they come in, if they're not comfortable asking for help, They know that they can look around and use the headings of the library to find what they need. We have signage and bulletin boards all over to help students locate things. So when I ask where's the book return, there's a sign that says so. And when I ask the kids, what is our library database called, there's a bulletin board, and I've said it to them before. As a content area teacher or in any classroom, part of your job is to help students navigate text, navigate content. So you can certainly use organizational walkthrough. You can use it in any class that has a textbook, any class where you hand out readings. This is how this is organized. This is what the sidebar means, all that good stuff. You can review or launch a chapter. That's how I have used organizational walkthrough with a breakout box in history classes. So you guide the students through the text, headings, charts, bold text, underlines, annotations, sidebars, insets, and the glossary. You can create a breakout box that requires students to utilize the organizational walkthrough that you demonstrate in any text. I also believe that organizational walkthrough can help at any age level, though it makes more sense third grade and up because that's when students are reading to learn and not learning to read. But I can see using organizational walkthrough in a kindergarten class with shapes, letters, and numbers and using the lock that has shapes and directions and things like that on it. So you could simplify it, certainly, but this would work with any age group. Organizational walkthrough makes sense for any age group, and breakout boxes do too because they're super motivating. And to conclude, an organizational walkthrough of a text combined with a breakout box can provide the tools and the motivation for literacy in multiple content areas across age groups. And if that doesn't work, put candy in your breakout box. That is super motivating. All right, have a good day. I hope this is helpful to you, and I hope you can use it in the future.